What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advanced Sports Talk. So, let's get into these Sunday afternoon games. Starting, of course, with my Tampa Bay Buccaneers, traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. I said that this was going to be a challenging game for them because even though Carson Wentz couldn't quite put it together in the second half of the first half of the, we're in the second half of the season now. He's figured out the offense, figured out his receivers. I guess him and Michael Pittman got that whole number 11 situation sorted out. But that pretty much showed in the first half of this game because, to say the least, the Colts was dominating. They kicked the field goal in the first quarter. They went up 17-10 or 17-0 in the second quarter. We ended up scoring a touchdown. Leonard Fournette, playoff Lenny, aka. So they it was 7-3. Then they scored another touchdown, so it was 10-7. Then they scored another touchdown. It was 17-7. And then, we was going back and forth. And all in all, we went into halftime down by 10. And it was 24-14. So, oh man, they coming out. Oh man, Brady wasn't playing with him this today. Shit, neither was Leonard Fournette, man, because Fournette and Ronald Jones had both back-to-back touchdowns. And man, it's crazy because in the fourth quarter, just when we thought it was over with, Wentz drove down the field, got another touchdown. Well, this time, Jonathan Taylor got them down the field. Hadn't done shit the whole game because the one thing that we know how to do is stop running backs. So when we're looking for them to pass, they just kept pounding the rock. Of course, I'm sweating bullets because the guy that I'm playing in fantasy has Jonathan Taylor. In any case, game is tied. 3.5 minutes left in the game. What happens? Fournette drives down the field. It was crazy because we actually could have ended the game somewhat smarter because at the time when he scored, there was still 20 seconds left on the clock. If Wentz they could have gone down the field. Again, man, we was making them look like an all-star the whole game. As soon as the second half hit, that's when the defense came alive. Well, we got a fumble in the first half. Then we got another fumble. Then we got an interception. Matt, I gotta say this, and I'm speaking this as a Bucs fan. Yeah, that was pass interference on Sean Murphy Button. I don't know. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's pass interference. I was like, oh shit, they didn't call that? Oh, okay. I'll take it, but I'm saying for the record, I acknowledge that was pass interference. He pretty much just pushed the dude out of the way. Then, on the final play of the game, Wentz threw a Hail Mary, and once again, picked off. Who was the dude? The dude, Desir. Desir picked it off. Man. Oh, man. Now, that was pretty much game, set, and match. Sorry, Carson Wentz. Tom Brady will not be passing the torch to you. Honestly, I think it's passed on to Mac Jones. Hold up before we move on to that. So, Buccaneers ended up beating the Colts 38-31. Very competitive game. All right, so speaking of Mac Jones, we're going to get to that game. The Tennessee Titans versus the New England Patriots. The one highlight that you're going to see is the second touchdown pass to Kendrick Bourne for 41 yards, man. Oh, man. Mac Jones killed him. And it's crazy because, even with him being a rookie, each week he's getting better. And it's after the game against the Bucs, the Bucs are just unlocks everybody. After the game against the Bucs, when they actually acknowledge the similarities between Mac Jones and Tom Brady, is when is when he really started to, show his development. Each week he's been getting better and better. Now he's just carving up defense. Mac Jones, 23 for 32, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. Quarterback rating, 123.2. Ryan Tannehill, 11 for 21, 93 yards. I don't know. The Titans are missing Derrick Henry. Clearly, even with Dontrell Hilliard rushing for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. So they are missing that big monster in the backfield. That it's just Titans are just a different team when Derrick Henry is there. And, as long as he's on IR, there's no telling when he'll be back. But there's no telling what the team is going to be like. Patriots beat the Titans 36-13. All right, next we're going to talk about a heartbreaker. Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. And this game went almost scoreless in the first half. If the Giants hadn't kicked the field goal, the game would have been scoreless in the first half. This is pretty much this was pretty much the result of, once again, trying to do something that your offense is not designed to do. Like, you can't just constantly throw. Yes, you have Devontae Smith. Yes, you have Jalen Reagor, who in theory should be good, but when you gotta, once again, run the ball. Okay, yes, we know that there was a fumble late in the game, but who's to say you will be in that situation if you had done it earlier? See, that's how your quarterback ends up throwing interceptions. When you have such a reckless offense as Bruce Arians. But in any case, after almost a scoreless first half, then that's when the action started. Daniel Jones threw a passing touchdown to Chris Myarick. Then in the fourth quarter, Eagles got a rushing touchdown. So at this point, they're close. They're close. They're about to take the lead. Graham Gano field goal, and Jalen Hurts. No, Boston Scott ends up fumbling. Giants recover it. Game over. Man, that's just tough. Giants ended up beating the Eagles 13-7. The positives in that division is that Dallas already lost on Thursday, so they can still keep pace. They're only 2 games behind. Now we gotta just wait to see what Washington is gonna do with Seattle. Now, anybody that thinks that that's going to be an open and shut game, I will assure you it is not. Seattle has not been the Seattle of old lately. They have been disappointing, I should say. Yeah, especially with with Russell Wilson being back. They still have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, who I assume still have all of their faculties. They have Alex Collins, so that could be so I don't know. Maybe they will realize that they are still the Seattle Seahawks. But at the same time, Washington ain't no slouch either, because Taylor Heineke is the truth. Antonio Gibson is a beast. And Terry McLaurin is scary. So, yeah. Moving on to the rest of the scores. So, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Falcons thoroughly dominated this game until the third quarter. Oh, man. So, first off, welcome back to Cordarrelle Patterson, my fantasy team. Thanks you. 2 back-to-back touchdown rushes. And touchdown pass to Russell Gage in the third quarter. Tavon Austin with a passing touchdown. Luckily for the Falcons, that they're the Jaguars, because they almost came back on them. Messed around and so Falcons only had 1 touchdown in each quarter. So Trevor Lawrence would have got another possession. They could have possibly tied the game up and went into overtime. And then who knows what would have happened after that. So Matt Ryan, 19 for 29. Oh man, that's not good. 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Trevor Lawrence, 23 for 42. 228 yards and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cordarrelle Patterson, 16 carries for 108 yards. Oh, James Robinson, 86 yards rushing. Falcons beat the Jaguars 21-14. Next, we got the New York Jets versus the Houston Texans. Zach Wilson is back at quarterback. So, the Jets ended up beating the Texans 21-14. The only points scored by the Texans was in the second quarter. The Jets took over the rest of the game. Zach Wilson, 14 for 24, 145 yards, 1 interception. Tyrod Taylor, 17 for 26, 158, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Where the hell? Hold up. The leading rusher has 67 yards. I'm not seeing how they got. You know what? Screw it. Maybe it's better that I just don't try to analyze it. All right. Jets beat the Texans 21-14. Next, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And man, Ben had 263 yards passing, but he did not look good. Threw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And Joe Burrow, 20 for 24. Joe Mixon, 165 yards rushing. T. Higgins, 6 out of 8 targets for 114. Man, yeah. Joe Burrow was on cruise control. Oh, man. Hold on. Where did they get these? Oh, man. Joe Burrow rushing touchdown. T. Higgins passing touchdown. Joe Mixon rushing touchdown. Mike Hilton at pick 6. Oh, man. Like, man. Bengals ran all over the Steelers, man. Bengals beat the Steelers 41-10. Speaking of steamrolling, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Miami Dolphins. Cam's second game back in Carolina, and they got whooped 33-10 Miami's way. Like, man, Tua ain't playing with them. 27 for 31, 230 yards, 1 touchdown. Cam Newton threw 2 interceptions today. At some point, he got benched. Then P.J. Walker hurts because I like P.J. Walker. P.J. Walker came into the game to throw another interception. Sorry, I'm about to say touchdown. Oh, man. Christian McCaffrey tweaked his ankle. Ended up having to leave the game early. So, all right. Hope he comes back stronger. This is what happens when you put the majority of your offense on one running back. You got to have a committee. DJ Moore caught 4 out of 10 targets for 103 yards. Man. Yeah, he got there, but look what it took. Jalen Waddle, 9 out of 10 targets for 137 yards and 1 touchdown. Yeah. Man, I'm so glad I drafted Jalen Waddle in my fantasy team. Jalen Waddle has bailed me out of so many situations, man. I can't even. Oh, man. All right, moving on. LA Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. I call the Chargers to win this, man. They disappointed. You know, like they have shown that they were moving the ball. Like all the offense is there. Justin Herbert, 28 for 44, 303 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions though. Teddy Bridgewater, once again, going back to Joe Burrow. Teddy Bridgewater was on cruise control, but he also got injured early in the game as well. So, yeah, he ended up rushing for a touchdown, throwing for another one. Broncos beat the Chargers 28-13. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings versus the San Francisco 49ers. And man, this game was going back and forth and back and forth. And this was the game where Adam Thielen wanted you to remember that he's on the team. Oh, man, because he had 2 passing touchdowns in the first half. Oh, man. And then Justin Jefferson, yet another one of my fantasy prospects that bailed me out forever. Caught 4 out of 9 targets to 83 yards. Man. 49ers, though. Because Kirk Cousins, every once in a while, will remind you he is Kirk Cousins. 49ers, Jimmy G, 17 for 26, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Elijah Mitchell, 27 carries for 133 yards. What is going on with the rushing situation over in San Francisco? Oh, man. Debo, not a lot of yards receiving because they've been lining him up and running back. Oh, man. No, Debo Samuel's got 6 carries for 66 yards. Man, Debo Samuel's got 66 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns as a receiver. Oh, man. Yeah, 49ers beat the Vikings 34-26. And next, last but not least, we got the LA Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. Man. Aaron Rodgers came out on fire. Starting the game off with a rushing touchdown. And man, let me tell you about my man, Van Jefferson. Caught 3 out of 9 targets for 93 yards. Randall Cobb came back. Caught 4 out of 5 targets for 95 yards, 1 touchdown. And A.J. Dillon, even though this was Aaron Jones' week back, I guess they were still splitting time with them until he's fully recovered. A.J. Dillon has 69 yards rushing. Devontae Adams, no touchdown, but caught 8 out of 9 targets for 104 yards. Randall Cobb caught 4 out of 5 yards. Well, I already went over that. 4 out of 5 targets for for 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Man, Packers ended up beating the Rams 36-28. Man. All right, so that's going to wrap up the Sunday afternoon games. So we got the Baltimore versus Cleveland, and then we got Seattle versus Washington. I already covered the Thursday night primetime game when I did Thanksgiving. So we only got 2 games for tomorrow. Man, I gotta start putting together a playoff picture so that you guys can start seeing what's going on. Man, coming down to the wire. All right, so my name is Advance. That's the breakdown for the Sunday afternoon game. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything.